Peace. What's up, Blue Flame? What's up, Salsa? I'm Possible, Clear Blue Jay. Welcome to the victory you've all been waiting for. Yes, natural conclusions to dispel all confusion. Did any of you, for even a moment, slightly sense a shift in energy? If you did, congratulations, you passed. If not, it's all good. Ooh, I have some good news for you. Hey, Chad, what's poppin'? Good to know. I'm so glad you're here. Chad, we're so grateful for you. Knowing that your sun and moon is in Sagittarius and you're holding space with us during this new moon in Leo. I mean, this ritual can only get better. Miss Kiki, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, yeah, I have a lot of good news for y'all. Please understand, with all the cycles that we've been through so far, a lot of energy that you have been experiencing has been in line with the collective. So this ceremony isn't going to really be like a ritual. It's Leo energy we can turn up. This is going to be real simple. Shout out to Big Empress Energy in the building. Mwah. All right. Shout out to Nebula Club. What's popping, Miss Kiki? All right. We got Astro Phoenix, Quantum Star Beauty. So Brown Brujita. So keep that in mind. Ooh, shout out to Amber Scott. Amber, I spoke to Christine this morning. So definitely gonna be calling you fairly soon. And you're gonna see Amber on Peace Talk really soon. Today, this is the last broadcast that I'm ever going to do on Google Hangouts because it's done. There's no more Google Hangouts after this. So I just wanted to let you know, like, you have taken part of a very collective unlocking of your potential. Every single one of you watching this has had karma you've had to deal with as it regards with your family, with your tradition, with any ancestors, people around you. And like the beauty of this new moon is that, you know what I'm saying, you're breaking free, especially with any like relevant gate portals, to where a lot of the focus of what you're experiencing karmically is going to be exceptionally more personal. Okay, I love how Iconic said you said that, but really, it should feel like really like it's finally over. Whereas for some of you, it's like, okay, been there, done that. Because some of you did some extra clearing, the Saturn and Scorpio transit. Some of you, your Saturn and Scorpio transit, which I believe was like 2014 and 2017, was just shitty, just like overall super dark. And that's because you decided to clear some stuff out because you come into upgrades and downloads a lot easier and quicker. So trust me when I say, my friends, congratulations. The only bad thing that you're going to experience, and I want you to confirm this for me. I don't necessarily want to be just saying this because for some of you, this might not be the case, but I want to make sure, because if you're doing this right, it is the case. And comment a fire sign emoji if you've noticed at a subtle level, there's more jealousy of you. Like there's more jealousy. Like people, you sense people aren't really clapping at your victories as much. I don't necessarily want to make it like a me versus them thing because there's a lot of frenemy energy going on. There's a lot of frenemy energy going on. See, a lot of you are in the process of tapping into your core tribe. Like we've had, remember, things happen in cycles. So you've met your tribe, right? You've seen archetypes of your tribe. You've connected with some people, but you've also fallen out with some people. Please understand, falling out of friendships is a natural occurrence because things happen in cycles and nothing happens forever. but you definitely, and let's not front, like there's deeper psychic connectivity. So here's something that I need to this is something moving forward you want to know, especially for those of you who find it hard to like deal with your intuition. An enemy is going to be the voice of your doubt and insecurity. A true friend is going to be the voice of your strength. And I'm not talking about someone who gasses you up insincerely, nor someone who is like relatively just fake. Okay. You're going to see, because remember, subconsciously, like where science is kind of useless is everything and this is why for a while psychology wasn't always seen as a science, because you start to bring in the elements of the ID and the subconscious, and it's not as quantifiable until advanced psychology explored these avenues, which they're still inconclusive. But like when we bring into play your moon sign, when we bring into play the subconscious, okay, by the way, people's understanding of the planets and astrology are limited because our scientific rhetoric is inherently limited. And we're finally at a place with Pluto and Saturn entering Aquarius where we're going to start to make extraordinary breakthroughs in scientific fields. Not ironically, it's going to be when humanity finally, matures enough to accept astrology as something more than the party favor and something like a religion and more like a science. It's taken people forever. And this is not talking about those of you like myself who got on this late. I didn't know astrology forever. Like it hasn't even been over 10 years that I've really been in this. But the difference is when it was shown to you, you took off with it. You didn't fight it, like you accepted it, versus, people being unnecessarily skeptical. But other than that, like this is very important because when it comes to the subconscious, right? You are consciously aware, but your moon sign, the moon sign is the core of somebody. The moon sign is what's going to really let you know how people feel about you. And so you can be around other people, right? And you're going to see people put masks on you, okay? Put masks on themselves, but their subconscious cannot be hidden. It's something you can feel. And when you're around certain people, do your insecurities, are they the voice of your insecurities? Do you hear that voice? Do you hear people voicing out your insecurities towards you? That's not someone you should trust. Do you feel empowered? Are they the voice of your strength? That's a friend. Okay. And it's like this is important because you can be around people who are acting like your friend, but it's not that you feel insecure about around them. It's that your subconscious is picking up on, in a moon sign level, them probably hating on you or throwing shade on you, or there being some kind of tension, and you feel this as unease. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, this jealousy is really because you're glowing up. You are glowing up, and it's kind of like a Cinderella glow up for some of you. I hate to use that example, but I want to use Cinderella because like she didn't realize at that moment how important she was, and other people were jealous of her before she could know. And some people have such a low sense of self-esteem, it's hard for them to see into their glory unless other people are applauding them. If they don't get that attention because they have an external locus of control, they're not necessarily going to really own up to their strength. And we are claiming victory. The reason why I say congratulations, if you are here right now, you are destined to be here. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. If you are here right now, you are destined to be here. All you need is a pen and paper. We are going to write down some magic and we're going to burn this paper. The spirit of fire is Leo. Empress Light, this is my last live on Google Hangouts because Google Hangouts will not exist after today. they're taking it down. So I'm gonna find another streaming platform and continue my stuff there. But I'm just letting you guys know, like, I don't even want to say people. It's more so an energy. The energy of you really glowing up and like being put in a position to step into your strength is going to be met with mild opposition. And this is important because it's a part of any drama. We are sparking off a drama right now. And many of you can feel in to how the expression of your light irks a counter force. And this is very much so subliminally felt. It triggers maybe insecurity or doubt. And I want you to comment a fire sign emoji if you can feel that in the air. If you can kind of like sense how like it's very high schooly, like a name calling energy, where it's like you can tell, like, yeah, despite the smiles people may put on their face, they're waiting for you to fail. Like they're waiting so that they can, yeah, I have OBS. I have OBS. I'm just gonna learn how to use it. Even though they'll never be like that in your face, like they'll never bring that same energy in your face. You have to understand some of the people you've looked up to are not your God. So they're going to do things that can kind of disappoint you too. Okay. It's in this day and age, people can feel so entitled. You know what I'm saying? Putting other people down. Be very careful about people who put other people down to put themselves up. It's some people do it so unconsciously. It's like they always talk about other people to compare to themselves about how much better they are indirectly. Like, oh, well, this person does that. And then they'll follow it up with, well, I've done this. I have to do this. I have to do this. Like, people actually even care, but other than that, it's very important because you have people who will like be so dignified and will like talk about you as if they're an authority of what they're saying about you, and they feel so heartfelt about what they're saying, but they won't say it to your face. They don't say it around you. They don't keep that same energy when you're there. Okay? Now we have a word for people like that. Okay? Parental advisory is suggested. Excuse my language, but people who do that in the English dictionary, if you were to look it up, it's not an official entry, but people who feel dignified talking about you, right? But they won't keep that same energy to your face. And it's crazy because you've seen people do this to you. They'll talk about other people, right? And they'll talk like it's with such authority, but they won't keep that same energy in your face. I mean, hate all you want on Gemini. The Geminis I know, they'll at least bring that same energy to your face. We do talk and bring up the truth, but most Gemini, we at least keep it real. And Virgo, not every Gemini, but most Gemini. The word for that is biatch. Bitch. Okay, not to be confused with female dog. This word bitch is not gender ascribed. If you not only it's not something that's used only for women. Men can be bitches too. Okay, and in this English dictionary, bitch is used to describe someone who, for some reason, they just won't keep that same energy. Like they're totally going to like, oh my gosh, with passion, feel all high and mighty, but they will not, for some reason, they will not keep this energy in your face. In fact, when they're in your face, you might think it's all cool. Yes, we call those people bitches. Complete and total bitches. And it's interesting because there are a lot of bitches everywhere. Cowards, as Alex has called it. And the thing is, a lot of these people play victim, and they can justify such behavior because of actions of other people, when it's like, it doesn't change the fact that at the end of the day, you're still being a bitch. So that's all I had to say about that. This is a dynamic with which, in this glow up, you're really going to now reset the dynamics of a lot of your relationships with other people. Because what a lot of, especially for you watching this, what a lot of people don't realize is your expression has been stunted because you were busy clearing so much karma, so much drama, so much energy from people and yourself. Now you're stepping into a cycle where you're really ready to like express the greatest parts of yourself, and it's really going to like flip people's heads. People who kind of always known that within you will be like, yes, he's finally living up to the potential. Certain people who had no idea because they're used to looking down on you, they're going to be even more jealous. And you have to understand, you do not, you have a 12th house, like you're not fully aware of every aspect of your life, so you're not aware of like the fact that they hate that they're jealous. It's not like they choose to be. They hate that there's a portion of you that they feel like they need to emulate because they're insecure within themselves, and you trigger their insecurities without trying. And they're definitely mad that the stuff that they have tried to do behind your back has not been working. And this is where we get to the ritual. I have a prophecy for you. Okay. You're going to really reveal like a whole lot of what's been done behind your back. And some of it, and I'm not talking about from like just one person, because it doesn't stem with just one person. You're going to see it, you know, expressed through people, but it's a consciousness. It's a consciousness and it's an idea. You're going to confirm, this revelation is a confirmation of what's been done behind your back. Mercury retrograde has been working overtime to expose cunning, deceit, and deception, and people saying stuff behind your back to try and alter people's perception of you and to get people to like kind of turn you off. And what you don't realize is the people who have been gossiped behind your back are looking at you like you're cool. Okay. Like, and you're going to realize this because those same people are going to come to you and they're going to tell you, oh yeah, this is what this person is doing. They don't know that I'm telling you because they think for some reason that I'm on their side, even though it's not a side thing. Many of you have probably already started to experience this, but it's not tied to a person as much as it is a consciousness. And it is a dark force that wants to stunt your glow up, but cannot. Now, we're not doing a ritual for you to gain golden victory. If you are here right now, please hit that like button if you haven't yet. If you are here right now, deceit and deception kept coming in the cards today. Trust me, this is where all the training that you have been through is now in a position to actually come to pass. Okay. So keep this in mind because once again, like a whole lot of personally, a whole lot of what you have gone through is to finally prepare you for now. All right. Miranda Widows, please email Party Trick Astrology, and if Party Trick Astrology responds to you, forward me the email, and I'll hit Party Trick up. But this is really important because you are stepping into your golden victory now. This ceremony that we're going to do is to acknowledge that you are victorious. You're starting a new moon cycle where you are literally taking that torch, the torch that they run with in the Olympics. You're taking the sacred fire and you're lighting up your spirit and your soul with it. And as you tap it, it's always when you tap into the core essence of feeling good about yourself that that light is going to cast a shadow. And you're going to see that light devour the darkness. And it's going to make some of you feel uncomfortable because, like I said in a recent like horoscope, a lot of people love to be miserable. Okay, think about how many people overdose on pharmaceutical drugs. Think about how many people like diagnose themselves as depressed. A lot, this is a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, and I can understand if some of you are offended by me saying this, but a lot of people want to be miserable. A lot of people actually don't want to be happy. A lot of people are addicted to being very miserable and to being sad and to complaining about things, because when you play the victim and when there's always someone that you can blame, it's a very subtle psychological fact. If you were to ask someone if they like to be happy, they're not going to tell you they don't like to be happy, but look at their life. They spend more of their life complaining about things, not being grateful, and being miserable. They choose to do that. It is 100% a choice. And if you ask them why, they're going to play the victim and they're going to blame someone else for the way they feel, why they feel. And that's because they want to be miserable. And you know, like there's an addiction to melancholy that is hard to kind of like let go of when it's so easy to just kind of want pity. Okay? So I'm going to let you know you're going to feel this force and influence kind of prey on your light, because your decision to be happy, your decision, this new moon in Leo, evil is very interesting, Malika. This new moon in Leo is going to hook you up with the ability to step into your happiness. And you would think in an ideal world that being happy and smiling, right, would cause other people to want to be happy and smile, but only for the pure-hearted. There's a lot of people who willingly don't want to be happy, and they'll never tell you, but like they like being sad, they like being mad. They at a core level are insecure when other people are happy. And I want you to really start to point this out, okay? At a core level, when they see people are happy, it makes them angry, and then they start to bring up drama out of nowhere. It's a sabotaging self-defense mechanism to where they feel like, and it's going to be very subtle. And then within 20 minutes, they see the room is bickering, and what was happy is now everyone arguing, and they secretly relish in it. Some of you are called to be exorcists, to call that out and slay that within people. And now we're really in the point where you're going to start to be pitted. This is really going to start to be an RPG. So the prophecy that I have for you is, as you step in and we're going to claim this victory. We are now in a cycle of golden victory. We're going to claim this victory, and it's going to make you enemies. After you do this ceremony, drama is going to pop off because you're making yourself a target. You are claiming victory and you are affirming. We're going to write some stuff down of everything you plan to do over the next 6 months, and we're going to get committed to the universe. Okay? Let me read a Bible verse. Proverbs 16:3, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. So we're going to commit divine RPG warfare. We're going to commit our intentions and our goals to the universe. And moving forward, we're going to attack our goals and intentions with an intensity and with a courage with which you will really see the synchronistic flow, just because you're not late April, just because you've made the decision to commit your ways to the universe. So you're not limited by just one thing. If there's relationships, if there's jobs, if there's goals, I'm a level 16 clapback mage. I see you, Iwoko. So keep that in mind. It's literally that simple. You're going to write it down. You're going to write down everything that you commit to. We're going to connect our energy. We're going to release it to the universe. And then after we finish the broadcast, you're going to burn this paper. In the night of the new moon, when the night is out, Okay, if it's night in the East Coast, if not, just wait till the dark comes out, and you must burn it. If you don't have any right now and you have to burn it later, make sure you do it later. You can do it in your heart now and then write it down. Okay, so I really want you to focus right now on what your destiny is. We're going to commit your destiny. What are your intentions? Okay, you have time to do this. You really just want to do this while, you know what I'm saying, the new moon is in Leo. But before we really get here, don't allow people to psychologically bully you, especially for those of you whose telepathic channel is opening. You have cowards that will never confront you to your face about certain important issues. So they're going to try and sneakily telepathically relay messages, but then gaslight you. All right. Never confront. See, there's telepath etiquette. Someone who's going to telepathically contact you, it has to be prearranged beforehand. You can't just establish telepathic contact with someone just because you have the connection. And this is how, like, you can hear the voice of insecurities flow through people's subconsciouses. Telepathic connection and conversation is not the input output structure of communication that we experience consciously, where you're constantly getting feedback and expressing information at the same time, right? And having like nonverbal body language and verbal body language. Telepathic communication is more nonlinear. You're going to have a very abstract flow of thoughts occur mentally, but people think that telepathy is more conscious when telepathy is more subconscious. Telepathy, you want to look more to your moon sign, because telepathy is going to encompass the subconscious thoughts that people may have had. You might hear things that people have felt since years, or you may hear things that people haven't even said yet. This happens to you guys sometimes. We've all been in a situation where you hear a word and then someone says it because you heard what they were about to say. And this lets you know that there is no linear structure to telepathy. That's why trying to understand it in a linear way doesn't make sense to most people. And this is where you have to have strong boundaries, because you can't necessarily let people invade your psychic space. Mars is in Leo, and you know, people can get that smoke. So detach from drama. Once you claim this victory, the dark force is going to be really mad, because you're going to step into the cycle of glow up, and that only means you're going to shine brighter. So you're going to start to see your self-esteem and courage get tested. You must be courageous, and you're going to 100% be in a position where you're having to face individuals who can trigger a breakthrough in self-esteem. All right. The prophecy that I have for you in one short month of August. I used to live in El Paso, but I'm from New Jersey. In one short month in August, you are going to traverse the shadows of other people. You are going to trigger people's true colors. And you're going to see them test your self-esteem. And they're going to be very perturbed, because the people who have been doing dark magic behind your back, the people who have had a false perception about you, they're going to see you surpass them. They're going to see, and listen, I'm saying this relatively here, but in their own heads, they're going to feel like you surpass them. It's going to feel their jealousy. And you're going to see yourself change the power struggle dynamics with people who you might have felt insecure around. And this is all part of the golden victory. You're going to see relationship dynamics change. Drubu can feel it, because this has been happening Cancer season. Everything that you're going to see has been happening psychically Cancer season, and it's manifesting, and it's going to flip your minds, because you're going to be talking to a certain way to people that you would have never expected to talk to them that way, because your true authentic self, what that is in your heart and that is fearless, that's not worried about what people are going to say, is going to come out. Comment a fire sign emoji if now more than ever The part of you that you usually hold back, you're not holding back. And if you never held it back in the first place, it's full on out. Well, you're starting a whole new season with this energy. All right, it's tangible now. And you are victorious. So this past week, I don't know how else to tell you this. You won. Checkmate. Like, you're alive and you're ready to apply this moving forward this 2020 portal. Virgo season's a W, Libra season's a W, Scorpio season's a W. So be very mindful because this is squaring Uranus. It's King Kunxing Neptune and it's King Kunxing Pluto. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going to have people passive aggressively downplaying your successes. All right. It's not going to be as impressive to them. They're not going to be clapping as much because they really don't respect you and they are intimidated. I really, 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 really want you to keep this in mind. The things that you're happy about and proud of, you're going to see downplayed on a serious level because, once again, you're dealing with bitches. Please, hit that like button if you have it. You're dealing with absolute cowards. And the way the dark force works is to be deceptive. The light of Sagittarius and Leo is going to piss you off because you're going to realize that certain energies you took seriously were full of shit the whole time. Everybody has authenticity. Everybody has a gift. So some of you saw that authentic part. Some of you saw that gift and you blinded yourself to the other red flags they showed because you wanted to see the best in them. And now you're finally making that decision where it's like, wow, I underestimated myself the whole time. I'm a lot stronger than I could ever realize. New moon in Leo with Uranus at the 10th house effect is a golden victory. And you are setting in play a spiritual standard for yourself. So I really want you to focus right now on what you're ready to commit to the universe. This is kind of like what we did when the sun was on Saturn and we wrote a contract. Well, that contract ended 6 months later in Cancer season. So now we're doing a committal to the universe. Okay. Please understand, as soon as you finish burning this paper, whatever you commit yourself to the universe, whatever you commit to the universe is destined to succeed. And you must be willing to take it personal and serious and have fun with it. Okay. But there is a catch. You are going to see more interference than ever. However, you're going to see more support from the universe and the allies in your corner than ever. Just from a simple decision to commit your endeavors. And many of you watching me have already done this. Some of you have done this earlier this week. Some of you didn't even know you did it. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. You are going to see idols turn to rivals, my friends. This is the next part of the transit we're going through. Certain people who you respected might actually start to switch their pace because their shadow leaks out. So don't take any of it personally. Okay, once in a blue moon, I got you. Don't take any of it personally. It's not the person. It's the dark force they're allowing to invade through them. And I'm telling you, do not take seriously the psychologically, it's Neptune and Pisces. It's a very psychologically manipulative force. Neptune and Pisces on its own is divine, but it's Neptune and Pisces that's having you experience these psychic phenomena, but it's so dismissible that it could be easily gaslighted. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's Neptune and Pisces. It's here, but it's not here. You hear that telepathic projection, but you can't really prove that it's real. That's Neptune and Pisces. And you're stepping into it's not about figuring it out. It's just about experiencing it. It's not, and I'm only using telepathy as an example. It's way deeper than just mere telepathic projections and auditory hallucinations. So keep this in mind because this golden victory is divine. And this new moon is making a sixth house aspect to Neptune and Pisces. So there's a divine adventure that each of you are ready to step into, especially for those of you with Aries energy. Okay. So if you're ready to claim this golden victory, I want you to now start writing down on this piece of paper or in your heart everything that you commit to the universe. Okay. And I'm just going to be channeling instead of really focusing more on the intention setting, I really want to channel important messages because moving forward, and once we step through that gateway, nothing will ever be the same. And you're going to see we're going to experience what do you call it? Not a time skip, a timeline jump. So I'm gonna be honest. If your goals don't make certain, like if your goals don't make other people laugh, oh, you see the spirit right behind me? Yeah, it doesn't play around. If you, I have a lot of extra protection because now that I'm stepping into my Saturn return, there's a lot of energies and people who don't have the best intentions for me. I don't like to share this because I don't want you guys to worry, but I'm being watched. I'm being spied on by secret society organizations, certain central intelligence agencies that are private and public. There's, of course, the natural spying that every citizen goes through. This is why this country, especially, is very particular about documented like citizens because everyone has a file. I hope you know that you have a file. Like you're being watched, you're being checked on. There's millions of people, so it's not that deep, but you have a file. Like I hope you know that you have a file. You have a file, and that means something. So keep that in mind. So there are people I just don't mind because you guys pray for me and it works. So I can walk around this untouched. And there are people who have like they want kind of some harm for me, but I'm not really tripping because like that's kind of worse on them. Like we slick with the clapbacks. But yeah, keep that in mind. You're gonna find that a lot of your goals will kind of piss some people off, even energetically, because it a lot of your goals and a lot of like your dreams kind of threaten the existence of other people. Usually people who are like addicted to being miserable on that level too. You're not loco. You're not loco, India Dallas. The thing is, a lot more people are going to be threatened. So it's normal if like you are the minority. Seven of Wands, you have the advantage. So don't hold this back. Leo season is about developing the pride. You don't need an excuse to be you. You don't need to apologize for being great. I'm sorry I'm dope, nigga. Okay? Like you don't need to apologize at all. Like you have to have the courage to be yourself uncompromisingly, whether it's politically correct or not. This is not just a new moon in Leo. Jupiter is trining this in Sagittarius, so it's wild. And Uranus is squaring this, so it's unconventional and it's politically incorrect. There's nothing politically correct about this energy. And that's what's going to be challenging for some people because you can try your best to respect others' boundaries and it's still going to offend somebody. That in and of itself is no reason to just be offensive, but it is every reason to be yourself uncompromisingly without apologizing. Let people this is really one of the main messages I have for you. Let people be offended with what you do and say. Don't try and argue with them Because once you try and argue with them, you're creating dialogue that gives them the impression that what they say matters when it doesn't at all. In the grand scheme of things, too, like it really doesn't matter. So, like, let people be offended. Focus more on shining your light. They're going to talk about you anyway. Now, the reason why I'm focusing a lot of my rhetoric towards drama, okay, the reason why I'm focusing a lot of my rhetoric towards outside influences is we are having a king kunks. This new moon is you want to go outside and burn it when the broadcast is over. This new moon is king kunksing Pluto and Saturn, and it's king kunksing Neptune, which is shady AF. Super shady, okay? Be very mindful. I'm not sure what breaches you're talking about. Sounds interesting, but be very mindful of, any drama that kind of pops up moving forward, because it's solely meant just to distract you from your path. Okay, if it's not really at a basic level getting you paid, you don't really want to invest in it. Literally, at a basic level. If it's not really enriching you, it's going to seem important. It's not. It's really not. Okay, and you're gonna really have a lot of promotion. This is the prophecy I have for you, though. People are going to be trying to do things negatively behind your back, and it's only going to work for your benefit, provided you don't try to kind of like handle it yourself. All right. Oh, I heard somebody say that if you have Equifax, you can get money from Equifax because apparently they owe people because of that breach. But I'm not sure. Good to know. That's all Uranus and Taurus. That's all Mercury retrograde, Uranus and Taurus. So keep that in mind, y'all. This is very important because some of you don't realize that a certain group of friends, a certain group of people that you have known was just temporary. It was just to hold space as you reintegrate your plot, because we just finished a whole filler arc. But this new moon in Leo is starting the new season series. So there's there's certain higher level people who don't mess with you because you associate with certain people. So you're wondering why your relationship with them is certain different people, your relationship with them isn't really going deeper like you want it to. And you don't realize the universe is sacrificing them so that you can mess with the people you're meant to mess with. It's a totally channeled message. It's like this person is at a higher position and they want to bring you up to their success. But it's like, you fuck with that person. I don't like that person. I like you. But if you're messing with that person's full of themselves. As long as you're messing with that person, I'm not even going to associate with that person. Okay. And like, as soon as you like sacrifice those connections that don't work, swoop, that person's going to approach you. And it's not just going to be one person. All those people are going to carry a similar energy. It's a consciousness. Okay. So whoop. And like, ooh. So I'm saying this because you're going to see certain connections deteriorate, and it's the best thing ever. It's not a bad thing. And it's not like they're going to go bad. It's not like they're going to go bad. It's just not really going to bang like you thought it was supposed to. And that's because you're ready to manifest over the next 6 months the right connections. Obviously, 6 months from now is Aquarius season where we network. So keep that in mind, y'all. The first thing I need to let you know, if you're here, it's for a reason. We're close to 400 live. Congratulations. You are victorious. Every single day. This isn't the type of victory where you start and you go on an adventure to gain victory. This is it's a new version of video game that you might even see in video games, right? The whole model of video games is kind of based on an illusion where you have to go through conflict and overcome odds and be the victor. It's flooded so and saturated in our culture. You have to overcome the odds. You have to beat a villain and you have to win and then get the princess. And it's like that's played out. Sometimes you have to lose, and losing is winning. Like that whole theme and dynamic isn't even like supported by the zodiac. That's why the stories don't always have plot holes. Okay, so this type of game, I'm a general, I like to say it in game form. It's like you start the game off with your victory. It's like you're the final boss of the game. It's like instead of getting experience and trying to be powerful enough to beat this boss, you're the boss and you're experiencing victory, and you're having to fend off people trying to fight you. You're the final boss. And it's like you're trying to defend your victory. And moving forward, Seven of Wands, you're going to be defending your victory. This is very important because some of you have been psychologically made to feel that you haven't accomplished enough when you've accomplished more than enough. You have to understand there are facets of your development that are subconscious. Only you understand it. And as much as people want to gaslight you, they don't understand how you feel like they think you do. There's a lot of entitled people around you and narcissistic people around you who feel like you're on the same page and that they get you, but they don't get you at all. They don't talk to you the right way, and like they really don't get you like at all. And so because of the environment you've been around people who don't really know your value, they don't even know your insights. There's certain things that you say are genius, but it goes over people's heads. A lot of what you say goes over people's heads, and they attribute it to some spiritual stuff or whatever. And so to them, you're not saying anything because you have to dumb yourself down for them. I don't know how else to say it. Okay. It's Evie, do what you want. It's just make sure you burn it at the end. Like, so you have to understand, in their view, they don't get it. They don't think you're saying anything. And so they're being sincere. They're just sincerely stupid. And so you may not have realized that you at a subconscious level feel like you still need to achieve something. You still need to like actually accomplish something because you have achieved something, but majority of your achievements to some people around you, they don't mean anything because they're low-key dumb. And you try and explain it to them and they just don't get it because they're not meant to. Okay, it's not their fault. They're not supposed to. It's your fault for feeling like you need to get some kind of validation from them. That's where you're going to have to take responsibility. Some of you have felt that you need validation, and it's okay because the way many of you were raised, you were psychologically given conditional love. So you would not get validation from your parents if you didn't act a certain way. And this systematically did everything to kind of take you away from being your truest self. Okay. Oh, Soraya, I totally got Piccolo vibes. I'm glad you said that. Dodge! But it's so important because, like, now that you've cleared all this, you're not dealing with that anymore. Now you're at a space after Uranus went through Aries, you're really able to value yourself so unconventionally that it might look super weird to other people. And you want to embrace that weirdness because you're not being weird, you're being genius. So keep that in mind because you don't like, I'm talking about you right now. This is how bad it is. That's Neptune and Pisces, the goddess of illusions. Okay. And then you have Saturn and Pluto with this intensity. You ever have like an old grandma or grandpa give you a long lecture and there's wisdom in what they're saying, but it doesn't apply to you because they don't have, like, they have the wisdom, but they don't have your understanding and knowing. They don't see and experience what you see like you see it. So they're lecturing you, but they don't know what they're talking about. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's this Capricorn energy. And then this Neptune energy, because people are impure, it's distorted. So people are not being honest, and you're dealing with so much fakeness because people are lying to themselves to cope. Like, illusions are really the only way they can cope. It's very few masters who know how to, like, you know, play both sides. So keep that in mind and call them out on it. Call themselves out on it too. So keep that in mind. I think some of you need to hear this. And I'm feeling this deep in my soul. Some of you don't even know. Like, you are beyond successful. Success is not measured by how much money you have in the bank. Like, it's the fakest thing ever because people will tell you that. People will say, oh, it doesn't matter how much money I have. Oh, it doesn't matter what car I drive. But those same people will brag about their money. They'll brag about their car. If you ask them why they feel they're successful, that's the first thing they're going to go to. They never really talk about any intrinsic values. And so you're dealing with people who don't really know what success is. They only know what their insecurities led them to. And that's why they're jealous of you. You embody that peacefulness and like understanding of yourself that they might, instead of looking into themselves to be jealous of you of it, you might not even think you're jealous because you're so humble. You're like, me? Like, I'm boring. What do you mean? And so keep that in mind. Like, it operating like success means different things to different people. Look to Saturn in your chart. It's very important though in Jupiter because like you are victorious. Like, I'm not talking about you're alive and you're like, I'm saying based on the past 5 years of your life, you know what you have done. You know what you have accomplished. You're not playing catch up anymore. Like, you have accomplished noteworthy things that have gone under people's radar. This is why you need to write lists of gratitude, because certain people will literally just go a whole day without acknowledging. And then you have to also understand, especially if you're a part of this community, a lot of people aren't even intelligent enough to acknowledge certain feats you've done. A lot of people are kind of catching up to this, so they can look at certain things you've done as trivial. I'm going to it applies way outside of astrology. You even if you're not spiritual, even if you're like a biophysicist, it's like that too. You have people who aren't really versed in that intricate art of science, and like they don't even know how to applaud you. They don't even care, and they'll pretend to not know. Okay, 5 years, ever since 2014, 5 years. This is very important though, because we're talking about a highly manipulative psychological energy by people who are insecure that go at length to make sure they reinforce this periodically. And some of you are just too nice. So you've let it happen. This Leo season, you're just not letting it happen. Shout out to Melissa Smith. I don't need acknowledgement. It's nice, but I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. So keep that in mind. It's very important because you are like beyond victorious. If you've followed me, I said that you've claimed victory since last year. Last year, Leo season was the real victory transit with the North Node in Leo too. Like, you won already. You're in the transition for a new season starting now. You are getting golden victory because now Jupiter's in Sag, so you're ascending this. So just keep that in mind. The victory that you're gaining is unconventional, squared to Uranus. It's not the conventional type of victory where your household name and you see people, if you notice, people are trying to get that type of success. You still have people who are trying to like blow up. You still have people who are trying to like go the mainstream route, and the real winners are the people who are going with radical independence, the people who are separating from mainstream outlets and are deciding to do it their own way, because we don't need mainstream outlets anymore. You don't have to be on TV because more people watch YouTube than they watch TV these days. Obviously, you're going to be on both, but it's just something to keep in mind. Okay, like, I'm just going to let you know this right now. Especially a lot of people in the mainstream, they're having to keep up this illusion. if you notice, they have to every day keep up this illusion like, you need to follow me, I'm cool, this is my lifestyle, this is what I'm doing, when it's fake. It's like they have to lie to themselves and convince themselves that's who they are, when it's, you can tell it's fake. Some people don't even care. Some people pay money to be deceived. So when it age like this, it works. But for those of you who are doing it your own way, you have already won. There's signs and there's like upgrades in your own behavior that can't be taken away from you right now. It's over. Like, Cancer season was the last season to screw you over. I really hope you know this, beloved. Like, Cancer, like that opposition to Saturn and Pluto was it. If you made it, you made it. Authenticity is the new black. Like, you don't have to lie to kick it. It's funny. People don't lie to kick it. People lie to not kick it. I love it. But it's like, it's so funny. Like, let me tell you this if you don't already know, because you are supposed to get applauded. Like, reinforcement like that is necessary, but it's not the end all be all. And Belle, you are being plotted against. Belle, especially for those of you who are light beings, water signs, fire signs, or people who like walk the light, you are being plotted against. This is very psychological. It's not like in your face. Like, the devil is not going to approach you with the horn. You guys, if I were to really break down the central intelligence agencies that are bringing trained operatives to get to know you, it's nothing. It's easy. You're just, especially if they send you a text at 7:44, dude, like, you're probably going to think it's a sign. Oh, I meant to know this person. Highly trained operatives. They have studied the spiritual community. They have studied our language and lingo. They've studied a lot of what we do. It's nothing for them to literally send a spy or an agent to build your trust over 2 years and then start to throw you under the bus. Like, it's, and then we also have to talk about sleeper cells within people that are activated by transits to their moon. This is where I'm saying you're going to be pit up against some of the most powerful forces in this world. And a lot of this is going to be low key. And many of you are going to feel like, can I do this? Can I handle this? And God is going to take you through there unscathed. The only catch is you have to be courageous. You have to be willing to walk through and accept these trials. All right. Chiron is in Aries. So the divine RPG is active. This is where your light is going to be needed to expose some people. And some of you are still afraid about exposing some people. Some of you, it's bigger than you. Some of you are so focused about what's going to happen to me if I expose it. It's not about you. You are so powerful. When you expose that person, the other people they took advantage of are going to gain exoneration because of what you did. People need you. It's bigger than you. And you are going to realize you are way bigger than you gave yourself credit for, because you are going to put people in check that other people are afraid of. Not you, it's the God within you. So you. Basically, okay. And this is going to be so incredibly empowering. Please hit that like button if you haven't hit it already. This is going to be so incredibly empowering. I don't even know what else to tell you. Okay. Now, if you noticed, I did that ritual last time where I played Wale. I did the unlock ability. Whoever was present, how have you been feeling since then? Because, I mean, it started off subtle. The unlock ability I did started off subtle. This new moon is going to now exponentially raise the effects. So it's been working subconsciously because we did this during Cancer season. You're going to realize the psychological triggers that used to affect you, they're not going to affect you anymore. And people are not going to be able to like mess with you at a psychological level. And they're now going to start to approach you physically. And you're going to see this drama escalate into what can potentially be a very disgusting, petty back and forth until you remember that you got the power and you have committed your doings to the universe. It's no longer about you. Okay, Robert, I don't do super chat for ceremonies, but it's no longer, great question. It's no longer about you. It's about who you're representing. So I'm going to say this one more time. Okay. I want you I want you to imagine that you see somebody who just got a Nobel Peace Prize and they're acknowledged by like a majority of the world, and like everything's opened up to them and they feel like, wow, I have achieved something so incredibly valuable and powerful. I'm truly successful. Okay. The only difference between that person and you is I don't think you've realized how victorious you are. Do you know that you've just won an intergalactic space time battle over your mind and soul? Do you know that you've kicked ass? Do you know you beat the crap out of a boss this past weekend? Do you know that you're literally changing the dynamics of your karma just because, despite the odds, you're choosing to be you? Even though you know that there are people who want to undermine your confidence, for some reason they think you care. For some reason, they really think you care. They really think that they can hurt you with their words. And yeah, you might be reactive to it, but they really think that you care more than you may do. Like you are completely victorious. And it's going to be this Leo season that shows you, because Jupiter is in Leo. See, last time Jupiter was in Virgo. Sorry, because Jupiter is sad. Jupiter was in Scorpio. So when you were having that victory before, that Jupiter energy was private. This victory was private. It wasn't in your face. Jupiter is going to hook you up. All the coolest people are going to show up out of nowhere, acknowledging your victorious self. And you can't bring that insecure version of you anymore that doesn't believe in yourself. Okay? You're being called to bring out, put on your capes. Some heroes don't wear capes. How did you know about my boss? Annika, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. Okay, this boss battle, you probably might even be talking about your boss, but like this boss battle is brought in to play by Saturn and Pluto, and you kicked its ass. Some of you exposed double agents in your life. And the prophecy that I have is that people who've been deceiving you are going to expose themselves. And now here's the thing. You have a decision to make. You have a decision to make. When true colors are exposed, are you going to tolerate it or are you going to confront it? It's going to take courage to confront it. Some of you might have to confront a boss. Some of you might have to confront people who your relationship with them is beneficial to you at some degree. And like, clearly, if you know in the mainstream of things, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But you make the decision to confront this. This is going to happen like super quickly. How does compassion play into this? Jim Kincaid, beautiful question. The way compassion plays into this, you have to understand a lot of the trash in the culture affirms this psychological manipulation by wanting to evoke a reaction out of you. Just look at how petty our social media culture is. Drama can break out between two people who barely even know each other, and then you'll see people in comment sections instigating conflict. Oh, this person didn't say anything, so they're a loser, they're a coward, right? When it's like compassion is operating off the inner knowing that you exist above the drama. You exist above the base expressions of carnal human behavior and base ego. So your decision, you can still be mad at someone And you can still be angry about a situation, but make the decision to respond with compassion. And that only makes you stronger. You're utilizing love over hate. And to be honest, my friends, people talk this spiritual doctrine all the time, but they never practice it. Because when conflict comes, they get super angry. If you're Mars and Aries, that's an exception. All right. Just rein in the Mars and Aries. If you Mars and Aries, that's the only exception because Mars and Aries cannot not react. Like we feel that fire and then we whatever. But like you see people talk about, oh, just get over the drama until drama happens to them. And then they throw people under the bus. And then you see their true colors come. When it happens to you, you have to make that decision to like respond with compassion. Responding with compassion doesn't mean I'm going to play the bigger adult and I'm just gonna pray for you. A bit of that is kind of pretentious. When you say I'm going to pray for you, I'm just going to forgive you. That's not being compassionate. That's being pretentious. That's not being authentic at all. That's really just feeling like you're better than someone because you're not going to respond angrily. You're patronizing them. Okay. You can still be angry, but your decision to respond compassionately, where you had the opportunity to smack earth, wind, and fire out their face, choke slam them, or do them back the way they've been doing you, and you choose to respond compassionately and not get involved, that's compassion. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be irritated. You just refuse to let that knock off your peace. And let me tell you something, it's not that easy. So if you mess up, just gather your focus. Don't beat yourself up. But before we do this ritual, and for those of you who just came in, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Moving forward, it's ready, y'all. We're really going to see the $1 Billion Vibe Tribe surface like never before. Okay. I want you to get a piece of paper. And while I'm channeling these messages, because this is more an indirect ritual, most of the ritual and ceremony is just you listening to these channeled messages because I have Chiron in my third. So I'm evoking a Reiki-like energy through my throat chakra and mouth. And I'm unlocking codes within you. There's what I'm saying, and then there's what my soul is pushing within your soul. So all you have to do is just write down everything that you commit to. You're going to commit this to the universe. Okay? Everything that you want to give up to the universe to oversee. Whatever you commit to the Lord, to the universe, it is going to be successful. And anyone who tries to get in the way of that, shout out to Sherby, Ben knew that. I'm not telling you anything you guys didn't know, but we're going to do this together as a collective. And everything that, and that's it. All you have to do is just write that down. And then after I end this broadcast, under the sky of the new moon, I want you to read everything on your paper out loud and then burn it. Okay? And commit it. Let that go and watch your life change overnight. Okay? Trust me. So keep that in mind. I use equal sign astrology, but whole signs is accurate too. So keep that in mind. But I have to say this one more time. How many of you know that you're successful? And like someone can see this and say, oh, this is just some prosperity gospel. The peace dealer is just gassing you up. Based on the last 5 years of your life alone, we're not even talking about the last 10. How many of you really know you're successful? I want you to comment a fire sign emoji. If you know without a doubt your experiences have granted you success on your own merit. Some of you have made some of the greatest music that other people don't even know exists yet, nor do they ever have to. And if you never release that song, it doesn't change the fact that you've made one of the greatest songs ever that maybe only 5 people might have heard. It's not about how many people hear it. It's about you making it. How many of you know you are established, like the type of success where you don't have to prove it to others? You don't have to keep constantly telling people, yeah, I built this, I did this, because you're inherently insecure and you feel like you have to prove your worth because you care that much about what people think about you. Like, how many of you know you are victorious? I need you to know this, because trust me when I say there is a counterforce that is allowed to test you, just like the devil was allowed to test Job. And God was like, all right, you can do whatever. Don't kill my nigga. Job is my nigga. Okay. Don't kill my nigga. Okay. You can do whatever. All right. You want to have this bet? You better pay up, saying, because you talking mad shit. Don't kill him, but you can do whatever. That's my nigga. He will never curse me. Even his wife was telling Job, just curse God and let it be that. Job looked at his wife like, are you kidding me? Like, what's wrong with you? Never that. Okay. You don't have a lot of people with that much faith. You have just one thing bad happen, and then people just lose their faith. Like, what's happening with my life? Oh my gosh, as if you're not allowed to go through a challenge. Challenge makes you stronger. Okay. So keep that in mind. It's very important. Get thee behind me, devil. You are going to have people try and make you feel crazy because you're owning your success. That's how dark the world is. And you have to understand, your victory threatens a lot of people's existence. So it's going to be like very, very in your face, the opposition. But guess what? You're victorious. Your hidden talents are going to come out to the light, and you're going to, within like every single month up until February and beyond, every single month, at least once, you're going to play a trump card that people didn't even know you had within you. And it's just going to completely like blow away any opposition. You have no competition. I hope you know. And this is very important because, like, especially if you do industry analysis, you don't ever want to say in a business plan that you have no competition. That kind of shows you don't really know your industry. Like, there's always going to be competition. Even in something like reading tarot, you might think you're the best, but there's always competition. You have no competition. No one else can be you. No one else can be you. I mean, they're going to try to. They're going to hate, and then they're going to take some elements of you, and they're going to try to, but no one else can be you. Exodius, obliterate, Exodia. So keep that in mind. Like, shout out to Astro Phoenix. That's a real one right there. Shout out to Melissa Smith. Shout out to Blue Flame Integration. So I'm just letting you know, like, you're going to notice in the air an extreme saltiness. Okay. However, as soon as we step into Libra season, you're going to start to pick up the influence of true friends starting now. Like, it's already starting now. Like, your true tribe is coming together, but you have to understand, don't take personal the attacks on your character. It's just because you threaten them. They are incredibly intimidated of you, but they cannot admit this to themselves. So they're projecting their denial on you, and you're feeling that subconsciously, expressed through doubt and insecurity. It's not even stemming from you, and you don't have to acknowledge it. You can literally detach from it. So keep that in mind, okay? And I'm not saying this because I'm feeling it and I'm projecting this. I know for a fact many of you are going through this, and many of you are kind. So instead of just putting your foot down, some of you actually want to kind of just give other people the benefit of the doubt and see the best in them. And it's like, you might actually have to smack Earth, Wind, and Fire at them. Now, Pravada asked the $1 million question. So does that also mean not to take personally the personal compliments we receive too? Hate to break it to you. If they're sincere, go ahead, but no, even the positive, you'll find in many cases, it's mostly flattery just to try and get closer to you and just to try and get you to open your heart. You're going to see people tell you stuff, and then they're going to say, oh, I don't usually tell this to other people, even though they tell everybody. And then they're going to try and bait you to tell them personal stuff that they can gossip to other people about. They're also going to try and like flatter you So like really don't take it personally. You'll feel it. If it's sincere, you'll feel it. And then you won't really have to say anything because it's felt, right? So keep that in mind. So I definitely just want you to spend the rest of this new moon being honest with yourself. I'm not talking about a little victory. You have accomplished a bigger victory than someone who has like sold platinum on the bill. Like number one, they have a platinum album. You have to understand the way our society runs, we recognize external validations. Sorry. External indicators of validation, right? So we always look to the people who have the most physically, but the victory that you're having that is insane is like internal. It is super internal. Ooh, we have 500 people watching. That's amazing. So, let's do a quick ritual now that we have 500 people. I want you to write down your intent. But right now, I want each and every one of us to connect right now and just claim victory. Say we are victorious. We are victorious. I want you to really like express your intent and let's just connect, okay? Now, the ritual has kind of already been complete. All now that we're all connected, 500 strong, I want you to really like take in the Uranus and Taurus energy gathering up this electric energy up your body. And I want you to use your vehicle as a conduit to kind of convert this energy into sunlight coming up your crown and sharing that. But the reason why we don't have to do that is because you really just need to write this down. Like, there's really nothing you have to do. You've done it already. Cancer is the cardinal side of doing. So you really just want to have confidence. I want you to really contemplate, okay, for the rest of this new moon, what are you proud of yourself for? What are you proud of? Because, and if you already wrote it, Shadow Hunters, congratulations. Make sure you burn it. If you don't want to burn it, you don't have to. All right. It's just with the spirit of fire, right? What exactly? Write everything that you commit to achieving in the next 6 months. And everything that you commit to achieving within the next 6 months, okay, you want to commit that to the universe and tell the universe, hey, infinite, cosmic, universal source of knowledge, I'm committing to this, I'm committing to this, and you are going to co-create that with me. And the universe is going to be like, the universe is going to give you the Birdman hand rub. All right, Playboy. Seriously. And Birdman is also an Aquarius. So I'm just letting you know that. Like, it ain't no joke. So I would say while we're 500 strong, let's just write down these intentions right now. Okay. The very most important thing about this is by Virgo season, the switch of power dynamics. You're going to see a lot of people who look down on you start to look up to you, and it's going to irk them because like they don't want to look up to you, but with the actions you're taking, you're naturally assuming a leadership position that most of you probably didn't even want, but because you've worked on yourself inside so much, all they can really do is project on you, and it's adorable. Oh, you're mad. You're mad. When someone says you're something, tell them you're mad. And they're going to get more mad, and it's going to be the most adorable thing ever. So adorable. So adorable. Okay? Trust me when I say you're going to see people with the means attempt to hurt you, and they're going to get hurt because they can't touch you. And I'm extending forth my grace. Every single angel that's my homie. See, right when I said angel, Maurice Angel commented, and you can see that in the replay. So that's a synchronicity. Like Ply said, they big mad. Every single angel I am sending to protect you. Nobody with foul intent will harm you, and no enemy, no tools of the enemy shall prosper over you. Okay? Period. Period. So even if I didn't send the angels, you are still going to be protected. You got extra angelic support, okay? From Chief Angel to you. Supernatural entity of greatness. MFer's been testing your frame, I'm telling you. Thank you. Shout out to the day ones, too. It ain't about who you known the longest. It's about who hasn't switched up ever since you met them. And, you know, whoever's a day one for you, they're the luckiest. I'm going to say this one more time. As you're writing down your intent, okay? Who should I start my intention? Sorry, I'm late. You're going to write down your intentions, y'all. We're 520 strong. So we're going to do a quick ritual. Because we're over 500, I want to do a quick magic ritual to upgrade your syncs. So I want everybody to, before we continue this other ritual, I want you to choose one planet out of the 9. Earth is included. So you are the sun, right? You are the awareness of the sun. I want you to choose one of the 9 planets. Mercury, Venus, Earth, just one. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto. One of the 9. I knew some of you would. If you chose more than one, you're rebellious, and I like you. Well, I want you to choose one, and you're going to designate them to. They're going to be your consort. You're committing this to the universe, but that's going to be, okay, the planet with which you move. You are the sun, so that's why you really can't choose it, because you are the sun. You don't want to choose yourself. You want to choose one of the planets that are revolving around your essence, okay? So keep that in mind, and I want you to just imagine energy in a symbol shooting out, and that symbol is going to be how that planet communicates with you as the universe co-creates, okay? And I want you to kind of set the intention right now to manifest with that planet a sign and an event within like 2 hours of this broadcast ending. So that's the quick ritual. And then on top of that, for those of you who are ready, I'm going to send a special agent for you. Okay, it's not specifically me. It's your higher self too. Your higher self is going to send you a specific person tonight. Okay, tonight, not tomorrow, tonight. Some of you, it might be tomorrow, but they'll hit you up tonight. If you don't get hit up by anyone, it's okay. If you get hit up by anyone, it's not as simple as just getting a message. You'll know it's them because they come with that symbol designated. And they're going to lead you to the first step of what you're going to do with this victory transit. Now, this is not a transit where you're fighting for victory. Mars is in Leo. You are victorious. I'm going to say this one more time. Do you know you are super victorious? Do you know that there are people who are lucky to even know you? Like, I really want you to ponder for the rest of this new moon. Like, maybe you have to unblock them. That's hilarious. You have to ponder for the rest of this new moon. What are you proud of? Because I want you to really examine the respect that people in your life give you. And I want you to see if they respect certain other people because they have like more, like there's certain people who, if you were to name a celebrity, they'd light up. They don't know this celebrity. They've never met this celebrity, but they light up. And they're so glued to their success because they look at the TV screen, they see the cars they drive, they see the influence, they see all the important people they know, and there's this illusion of like admiration for someone you don't know. Meanwhile, this person knows you and they don't treat you the same way because maybe you don't physically have things that can benefit them. You don't want to be around people who don't see your intrinsic value. Okay? Trust me when I say that's why, like, people think I gas them up when I do readings, but I don't. One of the most amazing privileges that I have, and ask anyone who I've given an astrology reading to, one of the most amazing privileges that I will ever have is to, in service, read your chart because you are essentially a star. And it's like the biggest deal. Like, I'm reading you. That's a huge deal. Even, you know what I'm saying? So like, just keep that in mind. I really don't know what else to say. Gas up means like flattering. I don't mean to flatter with this. Like, I make sure you remember, like, I hope you know you're the shit. I hope you know you're the shit. Because if you let other people tell it, they're gonna misconstrue you. Okay? I really hope you know you're the shit. I really hope you know that you are not striving for victory. You've achieved victory 2 years ago when we finished that Leo transit. Like, we're entering a whole new ball game here. So congratulations. It just so happens that, you know what I'm saying? The moon is 8 degrees exact and it's 8 p.m. PST. This is a great synchronicity. So we're going to continue to write down on our list everything we commit to. It could be so many. And now, because we have close to 600 people, how do you spell integrity? You just spelled it right. I love you, Aaron. You literally spelled it right. Gaslighting is a psychological mechanism where, thank you, Amber, people dismiss what you're saying or try and make you feel weird for expressing sincere thoughts. So someone can literally be delusional and make shit up, and then you call that out. Or if you are telling me about how you feel and I try and undermine it, I recommend you burn it outside, but you don't have to. If someone were to undermine how you feel and make you feel crazy for something sincere, you're being gaslighted. Okay, so keep that in mind. But we're beyond the gaslighting because you know yourself even better now. Okay, and so I want each and every one of you to feel the other 558 people in the chat. Reiki masters, if any of you are doing Reiki, you have my permission to heal me. Please, if you want to give permission, please give permission to be healed. And I want each and every one of you to feel energy from the earth. Now that our energies are connected, feel energy from the earth channeling up through you and up your crown. So we're all anchor points. Now that we're connected, the focal energy is this live, and we're all anchor points generating energy up. And whenever you are ready, okay, I want you to say, universe, or the infinite, whatever it represents to you. I want you to say, I manifest the greatest miracle right now, and then snap a finger. Or you don't have to snap a finger, you can clap. The point here is to say it and then link that to an action. Okay. The crazier the better, just so you can show yourself. It doesn't matter what it is, it matters that you do it. And with Neptune and Pisces, it doesn't have to follow any like linear mechanism. You could literally fart and win $1 million. telling you guys, like that's how crazy the energy is. All right, and that's not a post ad hoc fallacy. Like it's literally shitting on the logic of causality. Just to let you know, it's way bigger than this. And human logic is your enemy right now. True cosmic logic is your friend. Human logic is your enemy. Human logic is outdated. It's bunk. You're not a human. So keep that in mind. You might have a humanoid form, but you ain't no human, beloved. Okay? And moving forward, don't let that negative energy of I'm cooler than you, I'm better than you get to you, because that's outdated. Like that's fake. And we're stepping into like a so much more fun transit for the next 5 months. And you know, congratulations, you really did it. I just started a record label, by the way, guys. Supernatural Music Group. I'm gonna be approaching artists over the next couple years to start investing in projects. Chad, I'm talking about you. All right, Blake Mitchell, I'm talking about you. Ta, like when I get my money right, really soon, I'm gonna start investing. So Supernatural Music Group. It's owned by Mystical Illuminations. I have great news. I have the other YouTube channel. Okay. So I'm going to start recruiting many of you guys. You're going to start to see a lot of people on the other channel producing content. Amber Scott, you definitely fam. So keep that in mind. Shout out to DeAsia. Shout out to Hood Mystic. Shout out to Astro Phoenix. You know, I'm definitely approaching you. So keep that in mind. Um, and we got it. So would you do parodies? Oh, Tiffany Hall. I want to be the Black Weird Al Yankovic. So like parodies are my shit. You're gonna like when I get my equipment right, I'm gonna be doing mad parodies. Joy Rosa, you know I got you. I'm gonna be doing mad parodies. I love parodies. I want to do an acapella too. There's so many ideas I'm gonna start doing. Now that my Saturn return is finishing, I'm about to get my college degree. So, you know, we wrapping it up around here. What are the causes of this 5 month transit? Um, if you're talking about the new moon, I guess the new moon is the cause. I'm not really sure what you mean by that, but yeah, appreciate you. Trust me, I'm coming back with the skits. I went through a really dark period of my life, guys. I really had to like face a lot of my shadow. And I mean, that sounds mystical, but it really was a lot of substance abuse, a lot of smoking weed, a lot of drinking alcohol, a lot of sleeping late, a lot of masturbation. Okay. A lot of really like going deep into my shadow. And like, I cannot necessarily thank you all enough because you have really done nothing but like hold space for me and really kind of be patient with me the whole time. So I don't think you'll ever know how much I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm making an album. Like the Peace Dealer is now an artist. The Rhyme Scheme's the rapper, but like once I get 50,000 subscribers, I'm gonna start working on the Peace Dealer album. So it's coming. I got 12 EP series this year. The second house EP, shout out to C Wonder, and the eighth house EP. I'm working on it right now. I'm gonna release that for the culture for y'all. So keep that in mind. And I just want to say one more time, I'm definitely going to work more on incorporating you all too. This is not just some platform where like I just preach to y'all. So when I really get Mystical Illuminations up and play, like any of you who want to submit content, you can email me and submit content. And if we approve it, we'll post it. Like it's real. I really want it to be a community vibe where we're all putting in together. Like I'm not really like this one pariah and guru that sits above y'all and gives you this knowledge. This is 100% a dialogue. Some of the greatest stuff I've come into has come from y'all, some insight. That's why I always say, email me feedback, anything you want to tell me. Like, I totally open to it. Like, we've manifested each other. So keep that in mind. I'll definitely keep you more posted. I need to finish the moon sign series. Thank you so much for your patience. So other than that, we are going to end this video here. Yes, you can submit music content, because what I'm going to be doing as I create more recorded videos is I'm going to be plugging music at the end of the video. The only thing is, if the music is copyrighted, I can't play copyrighted music because I'll get copyright striked. But if it's like music that's not released on other platforms, I'll push that for sure. And I'll find a way where we can. But yeah, for those of you who are done and ready, we've already done, the other rituals. And congratulations. I really just want you to ponder your victory. And moving forward, anyone who doesn't acknowledge that victory that you have, don't make them a part of your life. Only surround yourselves with people who acknowledge what you have to be proud of. And don't try and not people who do this fake, like, oh yeah, congratulations for what you're doing, but or yeah, kudos for getting where you have, but you know what I'm saying? Those same people saying that never really support what you do. They're not real in the field. When you're actually doing it, they never show up. You need to stop dealing with people like that. Just because you had karma you had to clear with them 2 years ago and you think you still need to be in their life. No, you don't. You really don't. So keep that in mind. I hope you know you are like beyond amazing. Because like the reason why I'm saying is you have to know this now. You can't really just like expect someone else to tell you this. Like, it's going to count. So 1111, now that we're all together, let's all make a collective wish. And we're going, and then after this, say your intent out to the moon, burn the paper, and be prepared to commit to it. Okay. Let's all say a wish together. Say it in your heart and then let it go. Amen. So my wish was, I wish that every single one of you watching me right now is blessed beyond belief, and that you experience an incredible, extraordinary amount of liberation. I wish that each and every single one of you watching me, all the problems you're going through dissipate as soon as now I cast away any demons and dark spirits that are binding you. I really made the wish and make the wish that each and every single one of you reach success, and that us as the $1 Billion Vibe Tribe meet together physically and we can have these ceremonies in person, and we're all just balling ridiculous with like our the later success. You're successful now, but then there's the later success that the material realm is the last of it, but it starts passionately. But we're still all gonna be balling ridiculous, and we just gonna be $1 Billion Vibe Tribe in it. So, for those who truly love and respect me, I wish nothing but the best for you. And thank you guys who wish to say for me. I'm so grateful for you guys. So, telling you, moving forward, it's finna be lit, and it already was. So, you guys stay blessed. Really ponder of everything that you're proud for, because there's been a concerted effort to really demean you and to make you feel like you're not as important, when you're actually more important than most people are afraid to give you credit for. So y'all stay blessed as always. And until next time.